Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality, to your health and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 28 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like acne and psoriasis and eczema and rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is no miracle at all. It is simply the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, if you want to get off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, if you want to help a loved one get off their medication and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we're here for you. We welcome your phone calls on The Bright Side. We are your health advocates, your nutrition advocates. And we want to hear from you. 844-236-6010. 844-236-6010 is our number today and every day on The Bright Side. If you have questions about the longevity products, ingredients, formulations, something you may have read about or heard about on the news, let us help you. 844-236-6010 is our number today on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. You can also head over to my website, brightsideben.com, or my blog, pharmacistben.com. Take a look at the shopping cart and the products that are all up on the website. You can also check out the news stories and blog posts up at pharmacistben.com. We update them regularly. Thank you to my webmaster, Robert Lundgren, for setting that up. And if you want to join the Brightside Ben team for a one-time $10 fee, you can start yourself a longevity business, earn all the thank you checks that you can get from helping spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program, or you can just get your products at the wholesale price, all for a one-time $10 fee. 866-735-2470 is the phone number for the Brightside Ben phone team. You can also click on the Join the Team link up at brightsideben.com. Okay, welcome back to The Bright Side, friends. We've been spending a lot of time talking about anxiety and mental health issues, keeping in mind the caveat that we need to distinguish emotional issues, psychological issues, depression, bipolar disorder, PTSD, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety. Keeping in mind that we need to distinguish these from other health challenges that are more strictly physical, if it's possible that you can really distinguish these two. But you want to make a little bit of a distinction in the sense that mental health means that there are psychological aspects of our well-being that we can address. When you have OCD or anxiety issues or bipolar disorder, it's not always strictly a physical issue, and it's not like you can just take magnesium or you can just take melatonin and your anxiety will go away or OCD will go away. I've been dealing with folks who have bipolar disorder and OCD for a long time. My dad has OCD, actually. And what I noticed is people who have OCD and people who have bipolar disorder and people who have emotional disorders in general tend to have a history of some kind of trauma, psychological trauma, either in the case of PTSD. Obviously, we know that people come back from military kinds of situations, well, World War II and Vietnam, etc., and Iraq and Afghanistan. Of course, soldiers come back with PTSD. So we know there's trauma that's associated with PTSD and OCD, but there's also childhood trauma issues that can be involved with psychological health problems. There was a study that came out a long time ago called the ACE study, the Adverse Childhood Experience Study, and there was a very clear link between adverse childhood experiences and not just physical health issues. There was a link between adverse childhood experiences and physical issues, but there was a very clear link between adverse childhood experiences and mental health issues. All of this is to say that if we're dealing with psychological problems, it's not just a nutritional supplement problem, it's not just a dietary problem. You got to use strategies like mental health strategies, meditation, relaxation, mindfulness, focusing our attention, gratitude, looking around for something positive, asking questions like what's right, not what's wrong. These are all mental health strategies that may seem to be nebulous and fuzzy, but they really represent powerful ways that we can stabilize, or at least to a certain extent gain control over our moods and over our emotions. So I'm not marginalizing the importance of using mental health and psychological strategies to take care of anxiety and OCD and bipolar and PTSD. I'm not marginalizing these at all. In fact, I'm recommending, I'm saying you gotta focus on these kinds of strategies if we're dealing with psychological issues. You gotta focus on relaxation techniques and mindfulness techniques and learning how to focus our attention and gratitude, etc. But while mental health and emotional health issues can be addressed and need to be addressed on this mental and emotional level, mental health issue means you got to focus on mental health. There's still a lot we can do from a nutritional standpoint, and there is still going to be a nutritional deficiency aspect to most mental health and emotional and psychological health issues. So yes, you absolutely, positively want to be using mental health and psychological health strategies, but there's lots you can do from a nutritional and dietary food standpoint. One of the most notable instances of the relationship between the foods we eat and the moods we have involves grains. Last week we talked to a caller who was curious about the health value of whole grains. She actually was very surprised when I was telling her that she's got to be very careful with grains. I'm not saying to anybody that there's not value to grains. There is some food value to grains, clearly. However, if you're dealing with an inflammatory health issue, which is pretty much all degenerative disease issues, you got to be careful about eating grains, even if they're whole grains. And this gal was very surprised, and this is a common concern. I hear this all the time because we're inundated with messaging from marketers and from marketing companies and advertising and food producers about the importance of whole grains. Marketers are flooding the Safeways and King Soopers of the world with crappy products that tout their whole grain content. Go look at a box of Lucky Charms. Certainly not a health food, or Sugar Frosted Flakes, or many crappy cereals that are out on the marketplace. By the way, if you're interested in really delving into the crappy nature of cereals, read a book called Beating the Food Giants. It's a wonderful book written by a guy who's shocked to find out about what cereal really was and why there's seemingly 1,000 different boxes of cereal all made by 3 or 4 companies. If you go to the supermarket, there's a lot of money to be made in cereal because of the process. The cereal making process is a way of turning very little product into a big box that can be sold for $3. There's machinery in place, and this is what this guy talks about. I think his name was Paul Tippett, I believe. I'll have to look that up. In any case, his book is called Beating the Food Giants. He's a food scientist. When he graduated school, he talks about this in his book, when he graduated school, he went to work for, I think it was Quaker, and he was shocked to find out that these companies, these cereal-making companies had figured out how to take grains and puff them up with air using high-tech machinery so that you could get a whole box of something, a whole box of supposed food out of just a tiny little bit of grain. In other words, the profit margin on these things is huge. And this is why, and then they throw in the sugar, of course, and then everybody, especially children, get addicted to it, and then you throw in the advertising, the cartoons, and the marketing, and the mascots, and you can see why there's 1,000 different boxes of cereal, or different types of cereal at the supermarket. It's huge, huge, huge profit margin. There's very little food value associated with cereals, breakfast cereals. The whole breakfast cereal scam is unbelievable. There's another interesting book called Cerealizing America, which is written by a marketer who talks about the marketing that's associated with cereals. 2 really cool books if you're interested in the cereal business, and it is a fascinating business. Beating the Food Giants and Cerealizing America. All right, a couple more things. Actually, I got a lot more I want to say about whole grains and the mythology of whole grains, and why it's not just gluten-free, why this gluten-free thing is just more marketing. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back after this.
In an unpredictable world, it's good to know you are in control of food, your greatest dependency. Go Foods are storable for 25 years, quick fix, non-GMO, kosher, health store quality food at discount store prices delivered to your door. Go Foods is there when you need it most. Feed Your Frida package is available with up to 3 months of food for free. Call Go Foods at 1-800-648-9753 or on the web at www.storefoodnow.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Yeah?
Did you want to see me, sir?
Well, I did, but now that I do, I'm not so sure.
Sir?
Johnson, I got a mission for you that could change your life.
Oh, good, sir.
It involves traveling halfway around the world without so much as half a clue of where you're going or what you're going to do when you get there.
Situation normal, sir?
Uh-huh. Well, I'll be leading this mission, Johnson, so I'll be telling you what to do.
You, sir?
That's right, Johnson, and I say first things first.
Oh, good plan, sir.
And what I say is first is food. Always remember that, Johnson. Food is a big deal.
Sir, my brother-in-law can get us a really good deal on some surplus MREs.
Johnson, if you've got half a brain in that empty head of yours, you'll call the freeze-dry guy like I did. That food is better for you, it rehydrates faster, and it's good, Johnson, and it keeps for up to 30 years.
Will we be gone that long, sir?
Well, I hope not. Now get your supplies organized and meet me down to the pier at dawn on Sunday. We sail at sunrise.
Yes, sir.
This adventure is brought to you by the Freeze Dry Guy. Call 866-404-3663 or visit freezedryguy.com.
Not just an alternative to the mainstream media. We're the premier independent talk radio network. We are GCN.
Okay, welcome back to The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thank you for being here. Our number, and we do have lines open at 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about health or nutrition, if you want to get off your meds or help a loved one get off their medication, we can help you. 844-236-6010. Let us help you change your life today. Let us help you change the lives of loved ones, friends, or family members today as well. 844-236-6010. Of course, if you have questions about the longevity products, the ones I take and the ones I recommend, you can also give us a shout. 844-236-6010. If you would like to join us on our weekly phone calls, myself and Dixie Sedgwick do a weekly phone call every Sunday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The dial-in number is 605-562-3140. That's 605-562-3140. Participant access code 444-973-POUND. Yesterday we talked about the Immortalium, one of my favorite longevity products, my favorite ancillary longevity products. It's not a core longevity product, but it's got so many good nutritional components. It's got so much nutritional value. I think it could be a very helpful product as an ancillary product after you've already gotten the Healthy Start Pack and your Biolumin Nightly Essence and your Ultimate Enzymes. The Immortalium's got a lot of really great benefits. We talked about that yesterday. Spent 20 minutes talking about that. We spent 20 minutes talking about a various subject. We've covered Alzheimer's disease and high blood pressure and weight loss, of course, and amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, various subjects. I talk for 20 minutes, and then we take questions for the last 10 minutes, about a half-hour phone call. Also, if you're interested in checking out my videos, myself and Amanda Rideout, health coach, do skincare videos. You can send me an email, ben@ksco.com. That's ben@ksco.com. Or you can head to my Facebook page, The Truth with Ben. So many of you have friended me on my personal Facebook page, and that's great, but I don't check it that often, and I don't post on that page, but I do post on The Truth with Ben, and we also post our videos on The Truth with Ben, our skincare videos. We've been covering acne. Myself and Amanda have been covering acne now for a few weeks. We did the various different types of acne. Male hormone acne, acne that's related to the adrenal glands, acne that's related to the digestive system, acne that's related to the liver, pre-menstrual acne, and then our last conversation was on acne that's associated with menopause. Actually, did we cover that one yet? I think we're going to be doing that here in the next couple of days. Anyway, you can head over to The Truth with Ben. That's my Facebook page, or you can send me an email, ben@ksco.com, and we'll get you on the list. Okay, so we're continuing talking about anxiety and mental health issues. There's lots of things you could do for anxiety issues, OCD issues, PTSD, et cetera, depression. There's lots of things you could do. First thing you always want to focus on when you have a mental health issue is mental health strategies, emotional strategies, psychological strategies. And the cool thing about these strategies is we don't need a doctor for them. We don't need an insurance company for them. We don't need anybody for them. We can do them ourselves. You can practice gratitude for yourself. For ourselves, we can practice gratitude and meditation and yoga and relaxation and mindfulness and focusing our attention. These are all things we could do for ourselves, and do not marginalize. Do not be dismissive about these very, very important strategies. They're super important. And I know we talk about nutrition. This is a nutritional program, and nutrition is very important, but nutrition doesn't exist in a vacuum. Nutrition exists within the context of the health of the body. And so if we're going to talk about nutrition, we got to talk about the health of the entire system. And if we're going to talk about the health of the entire system, we got to talk about psychological strategies. But while these psychological strategies are clearly important, there's lots we can do from a dietary perspective and a food perspective. And one of the most notable examples of this involves grains. Whole grains or otherwise. This whole grain thing is a scam of the highest degree. Whole grains. Just because something says whole grains doesn't really mean that everything in there is a whole grain. Marketers want you to think that they're crappy cereals or crappy breads, and they are crappy. They're processed, and they've got all kinds of excipients and fillers and sweeteners, etc., and preservatives, etc. Marketers want you to think that these are somehow health food. Since 2005, when the USDA recommended that 50% of our grain intake should come from whole grains, you've gotten this deluge of whole grain products. You'll see this bright yellow sticker on your Lucky Charms or your Sugar Frosted Flakes or Cheerios made with whole grains. If you go to the supermarket, you're going to get to choose from over 7,000 different products that have this 100% whole grain, made with 100% whole grain stamp. And if you believe the government and you believe advertising, it's easy to see how we can be misled, because the government tells us you got to eat whole grains, and the advertisers tell us that whole grains are somehow good for us. There's so many problems associated with grains, whole or otherwise. There's so many health issues associated, health problems, health crises that are linked to excess ingestion of these kinds of foods, it's hard to know where to begin. And I'm not even talking about gluten. Gluten is so played out. Gluten has become such a marketing cliche, as bad as it is. You can eat your gluten-free brownies all you want, but you're still going to be contacting your body. Your body is still going to be interfacing with lots of crapola that's in grains. For one thing, grains contain a particularly nasty compound called WGA. That stands for wheat germ agglutinin. Agglutinin means, just like the word sounds, it's one of those words that kind of sounds like what it is. It globs up your blood. An agglutinin globs up the blood. Remember, we talked about this a lot. The blood, one of the ways that the body protects itself from hemorrhaging is by clotting the blood. So blood clotting and distress go hand in hand. Well, wheat germ agglutinin clots the blood. Why? Because it tells the body there's an emergency. It's a toxin. It's a poison, and one of the responses to these kinds of poisons is a clotting up of the blood. WGA is a protective, or induces a protective mechanism, blood clotting. WGA is actually technically called a lectin, and for the life of me, I cannot understand why we don't hear more about the health issues associated with lectins. We've talked about this a lot on the bright side. Lectins are found throughout the plant world. They're found throughout the plant and animal kingdom, but they're especially found in plants. They're defensive compounds. They're ways plants protect themselves from animals. Remember, it's a jungle out there. Plants are protecting themselves from animals, just like animals are protecting themselves from animals. And one of the ways the grains and the seeds and the vegetables protect themselves is by producing these toxic compounds like WGA. WGA, wheat germ agglutinin, can wreak havoc on all kinds of systems in the body. And I'm talking about WGA in whole grains or otherwise. WGA is going to be in your gluten-free grains or gluten-free grain products. WGA, wheat germ agglutinin, is found in lots of grains. It's not just found in wheat, but it's especially, or at least it was first discovered in wheat. It protects it, as I say, it's a protective chemical. It protects the grain from being eaten by insects and microbes and animals and humans. WGA's effects on the human body include deactivating or interfering with glucosamine. Glucosamine is a primary building block for joints, especially for joints. We hear about it all the time, but also for the circulatory system, for blood vessels, especially blood vessels in the brain. WGA can interfere with all circulatory health issues, or can cause circulatory health problems via its interfacing or interacting with blood vessels. Also with the blood itself, it causes clotting. Also with joints, because of glucosamine. Glucosamine is also found in the eyes. Pretty much anywhere you have glucosamine in the body, you can have this WGA interference. Thus, the the well-known arthritis-inducing effects of wheat and grains. And folks, that's gluten-free. This is why I'm always so skeptical of when I hear people say, well, I'm gluten-free, but I still have my arthritis. Well, yeah, because there's lots of things that are found in grains, not just gluten. Gluten is obviously problematic, but there's lots of things that are found in grains, which at the end of the day are seeds, which at the end of the day are not supposed to be eaten, at least in the opinion of a plant. Seeds are not supposed to be eaten. Seeds are supposed to be grown. Anyway, we'll continue this discussion when we come back from our break and take your phone calls as well. Got some lines open for you. 844-236-6010 is our number.
The CDC just announced flu vaccines may have the wrong strain of flu virus. You may not be protected. Whatever your lifestyle, your immune system is critical, and Immudyne provides your immune support. Doctor recommended, stimulant-free, and not found in pharmacies. Go to Immudyne.com to find out more or to place an order, or call 866-257-8668. That's IMMUDYNE.com or 866-257-8668. Remember, Immudyne is key support for your immune system.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. So many other formulations out there contain toxic ingredients, synthetic additives, and even GMOs. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Now is the time to secure Ancient Defense for you and your family. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
You pick up the receiver. With your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead, you finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com. UnseenNow.com, proud sponsor of GCN. Unseen Now's unparalleled encryption tools keep your communications secure. GCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Have not forgotten about nitrates and nitric oxide. We're going to continue talking about that. There's an important link between nitric oxide, the inflammatory gas hormone, and anxiety issues and mental health issues. And there's also, there's some controversy around nitrates and nitrites. I've been talking, at least I mentioned a couple times last week, about the food value, the health value of nitrates and nitrites. And this is in contradistinction to a lot of the information out about nitrates and nitrites being associated with cancer. I actually got an email from somebody yesterday who wanted me to address that. The discrepancy between what you read about nitrates and nitrites and what I'm telling you, that there is a health value to food nitrates and nitrites, and a lot of folks believe that that's one of the reasons why vegetables are so important. Nitrates and nitrites in vegetables get converted into nitric oxide by the body, by saliva, bacteria in our saliva, by bacteria in the gut, and not necessarily in a bad way. It turns out that you can actually make nitric oxide from these dietary nitrates and nitrites, and nitric oxide is not only super important for health, for all health issues, especially inflammatory health issues, but there's actually something called nitric oxide deficiency. You can actually be deficient in nitric oxide if you're using it up and you're burning through it real fast and you're not getting enough dietary nitrates and nitrites. We'll continue talking about that tomorrow, and we'll also continue talking about wheat and grains. Hopefully I can clear up some of the confusion out there about wheat and grains. And I'll tell you why. Just because something says whole grains on the label doesn't necessarily mean it's all that whole grainy. There's lots of scams associated with labels, and when you're reading labels, and I'm telling you this, somebody's been in the skincare business for many years, when you're reading when you're making a choice on what kind of products to use, whether it's skincare products, topical or edible products, cereals and foods, you want to be an ingredient reader, not just a label reader, but an ingredient reader. There's lots of marketing verbiage that doesn't necessarily all the time match up with the ingredient decks. So you got to learn to read ingredient decks. I've been teaching a class in the skincare world about reading ingredient decks. There's so much scammery. There's so much scammery everywhere, but especially in the skincare business and especially in the food business. The food business and the skin health or skincare business are two of the most scam-ridden businesses there are, and our only weapon is going to be savvy to reading ingredient decks and to listening to programs like this, The Bright Side, where we talk about this kind of stuff every day. 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, and 24/7 on our archive page at brightsideben.com. So we'll continue talking about grains and wheat, and then we'll get into some nitric oxide. We'll talk about the gut-brain axis. This is a really interesting new phenomena, or at least new in the scientific and research world, the link between the gut, the digestive system that is, and the brain and mental health issues, the digestive system and mental health issues. We'll continue talking about that over the coming days. Thanks so much for listening to us on The Bright Side. Time to hit our phones. 844-236-6010 is our number. Steve, good morning. What's up, buddy?
Oh, hello there once again. Yes, good morning. We had a couple questions. One was about magnesium in the liquid form. We've been trying to look around for some good sources for, to try it in the liquid form.
Get yourself a Vitamix. Get a Vitamix, Steve. Do veggie juices. That's the best way to get your magnesium in a liquid form. Green veggie juices. I'm sure that's not what you meant, though. That was just as an aside. Continue, my friend. Continue.
Oh no, that was just if you're able to give on air, maybe some different sources, or if that's something maybe we should.
You're talking about sources of liquid magnesium. You're talking about?
Yeah, different places we could get it from.
Beyond OsteoFX, of course. The Beyond OsteoFX that's your liquid that's my favorite liquid magnesium. You can get liquid magnesium anywhere, but Beyond OsteoFX is the best way, in my opinion. You can find you can just do a search on the internet. You'll find lots of liquid magnesium, but I was only half kidding. The best way to get your liquid magnesium is really vegetable juices, green vegetable juices.
Okay.
Wherever you see green in spinach and kale and broccoli, wherever you see the color green in the vegetable kingdom, or really anywhere, you're looking at magnesium. By grinding up your kale, by grinding up your spinach in a Vitamix with some water, you'll get the best liquid magnesium beverage you'll ever drink, and on top of that, you'll get all the phytonutrients, all the plant nutrients that are in the spinach and the kale and the broccoli and the lettuce and the cucumber and the celery, etc. So look, the vegetable juices are unspeakably healthy for you, and I'm not talking about V8, by the way. I'm talking about good, fresh vegetable juice where you spend $400 or so on a Vitamix. It is a little bit pricey, but it's the best health insurance $400 you'll ever spend, and just do veggie juices every day. If you're sick in any way, or if you don't want to prevent yourself from being sick, or you're elderly, or you have a digestive problem, or somebody who's elderly or has a digestive problem, or somebody in a nursing home, get them on veggie juices and veggie soups. It's unbelievably healthy. There's lots of health benefits to drinking veggie juices, but one of the most important health benefits is going to be the liquid magnesium. Now, if you want a supplemental liquid magnesium, I would use the Beyond OsteoFX.
Okay. All right. And And just one other quick thing. What would you recommend as far as like a detox for respiratory system, the lungs?
Breathing. I know that sounds silly, but that's the best way to detox for the lungs, exhaling. And when I talk about deep breathing, obviously everybody knows that breathing is a cyclical process, inhaling and exhaling. It's the exhale where all the good stuff happens. Well, I don't want to say that, but the exhale is very important and sometimes misunderstood or underappreciated. So practicing the exhale, that's when you're blowing off acid, that's when you're blowing off carbon dioxide, and that's where you're activating the parasympathetic or the relaxation nervous system. So doing your deep breathing where you're exhaling a little bit more than inhaling is the absolute finest way to detox in general, next to a bowel movement where you're eliminating toxins, a lot of toxins. But next to a bowel movement, the most powerful and important way to detox is simply by breathing. And that's why, I'm always saying it's not that expensive to be healthy. You don't need to spend a lot of money. A little bit on a nutritional supplement program, but you'll find you're eating less, so it's kind of a wash there. Making sure you're practicing your deep breathing techniques, making sure you're using all these mental health strategies that we talk about all the time, restricting your intake of refined sugars. These are all cheap, almost free, some of them are free, strategies that we can use to improve our health. If you want to detox your lungs, exhale. Practice your deep breathing.
As a reminder, what part of that cycle is the more rapid one? Is it the exhale?
The exhale. That's where you'll notice the most rapid benefits is on the exhale. And you can do this especially, one of the major signs of an activated stress nervous system is constipation. Okay? And constipation is like an epidemic. And based on my experience. So you can experience the power, the relaxing power, the parasympathetic activating power of an exhalation if you're having difficulties evacuating a bowel movement, if you're constipated. Sit on the john and practice your deep breathing, focusing on the exhale. And as you're exhaling, you can actually feel your intestines opening up. You can actually feel the lower part of your body opening up. And that happens almost instantly as you're exhaling. Now, if you're not constipated, you're still going to get the benefits, but that's just a real notable way to experience for yourself firsthand how important an exhalation can be for relaxing the entire body. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Steve. God bless. Have a beautiful day. All right, Brian in Texas, what's up? Welcome to the bright side, my man.
Hello?
Hey, Brian. What's up?
How you doing?
Hey.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
I've been listening to your show for a while, man. I really love the way you approach health through the digestive system. I'm also in the fitness world, so I live that way a lot too.
Are you a weightlifter?
Well, I'm a trainer. I train outdoor high-intensity boot campers.
Oh, nice. Hey, I got 10 seconds to the break. Hang tight, Brian, okay? We'll get you when we come up. Hang on. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
Hello, it's Tom Chenault from The Tom Chenault Show. We are experts in home-based business and residual income. We show people how to make money from their home, either part-time or full-time, and in partnership with Genesis Communication Network, we've organized a team to fight back about people not having money, time, or health. And we need your help. What we want you to do is if you've got an interest in building an organization to fight back against people taking our money, taking our time, and taking our health, we want to talk to you. All you need to do is call this number, 855-308-8326. Again, all you want to do is call 855-308-8326. You can make a tremendous amount of money and end up fighting for a great cause. Please call us right now.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
Improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Do good people ever want to call an attorney just to find out if they're right or wrong? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what are you forced to think about first? Money. If you could call as often as you wanted and talk as long as you need without a bill, would you call? Worry less and live more with lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com or call 855-340-SAVE. That's 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
The CDC just announced flu vaccines may have the wrong strain of flu virus. You may not be protected. Whatever your lifestyle, your immune system is critical, and Immudyne provides your immune support. Doctor recommended, stimulant-free, and not found in pharmacies. Go to Immudyne.com to find out more or to place an order, or call 866-257-8668. That's IMMUDYNE.com or 866-257-8668. Remember, Immudyne is key support for your immune system.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
GCN, proudly sponsored by UnseenNow.com. Find out how to stop Big Brother in his tracks at UnseenNow.com. This is GCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. Brian in Texas. What's up, my man? Sorry to cut you off there.
That's all right. I've been wanting to call for a while, so I have like a bunch of questions for you. But I've been listening to you talk about a lot about the fasting and stuff like that, and I've been kind of tinkering with it. I've actually lost like 30 pounds.
Wow.
Since October.
Wow.
Doing a lot of fasting and stuff like that.
Nice.
And I'm curious to know, like, how often is it okay to skip like a day of eating or to like really go low calories, especially if you're training?
If you're training, it's very important. Read this guy, Ori Hofmeckler. He talks a lot about training and muscle building and intermittent fasting. Read The Warrior's Diet. A great book about for bodybuilders and weightlifters. It turns out intermittent fasting is a wonderful way to cut up, to get definition. And there's really no answer to that question, Brian. The less you eat, the better off you're going to be, as long as you get your nutrition. That's important. You got to make sure you're getting your Mighty 90 essential nutrients. Calories represent work. Represent something that the body has to do. If the body is spending its energy or its resources digesting food or processing calories, those are going to be resources that the body does not have available for healing and for wellness and for health. So the less work your body has to do processing calories, the more efficient it's going to be in terms of healing and health and wellness and longevity and anti-aging. So what you're looking to do is restrict your calories while you're making sure you get enough nutrients. Technically, that's called the CRAN diet or the CRON diet, calorie restriction with adequate or optimum nutrition. As far as completely doing your fasting goes, once a week is not a bad idea, twice a week even, once every couple of weeks is not a bad idea. And by the way, I keep getting this question. I got a question yesterday and I keep getting this. When you're fasting, it doesn't really matter if you do your supplements when you're fasting. You can do them, you can not do them. It's not going to make that big a difference if you take your supplements while you fast or you miss a day with with your supplements, as long as you get them in the next day. As far as your question goes, how often, it doesn't really matter. Once a week, twice a week, even if you were to fast 3 times a week. You want to make sure, however, that you're not starving of nutrients. Most of us are not going to have to worry about calories. There's plenty of calories around. It's the nutrients, the vitamins and the minerals, the so-called mighty 90 nutrients that you really want to focus on. When we talk about intermittent fasting, we're not necessarily talking about fasting from nutrition. We're talking about fasting from calories, which at the end of the day represent work to the body. It's giving the body a holiday, a food holiday.
Okay, that makes sense. And then I always do a really big green. I usually do 2 green smoothies a day, so I think I get enough of my nutrients. So,
okay.
And then the other thing, I have asthma, and so it makes my running suffers real bad from my asthma. And I know you always talk about natural ways. I use an inhaler that only helps me right before my run. It never helps. No long-term effect. Is there any way I can eat?
Yes. If you have asthma, that's a sign that the body is in a defensive posture. Asthma represents the body protecting itself. And so you want to look at what the body's protecting itself from. Exercise can represent a stress on the body, and so that can induce asthma. It's called exercise-induced asthma, as I'm sure you know. But usually there's something in the digestive system. Usually it represents some kind of immune system activation, defensive system activation. Look to foods. That's the most likely suspect when it comes to asthma. If you're looking for some good nutrition for asthma, vitamin C, magnesium, vitamin E, something called N-acetylcysteine or NAC can actually be helpful for in terms of taking care of lung health in general. But I would be looking at something that's getting into the body, that's activating the defensive system or causing a defensive response. Asthma equals defensive response. Okay?
Okay. If I can ask you just one more question.
Sure.
I know you talked a lot about nitric oxide.
Yes.
So I know a lot of that pre-workout stuff that people take is kind of like But if it's a nitric oxide-based one, are those better? Or
nitric oxide boosters. Are you talking about nitric oxide boosters, right? Not based.
Well, it has nitric oxide in it. It has a lot of caffeine, too, and it has other things that's supposed to help. It says, I know how you talk about labeling right now, so when you read the ingredients sound scary, but then the labeling's like focus and energy and pump and all that stuff.
Right, that's marketing. You got to make a distinction.
Is all that stuff just garbage?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to tell me specifically. I can't give you a blanket statement on that. I never heard of nitric oxide literally in a supplement, though. I think you're talking about nitric oxide boosters, and usually.
Maybe, because it's like, have you ever heard of NO Explode? That's like nitric oxide.
It's a booster. Yeah, it's a booster. Most of these involve the amino acid arginine. And arginine is a spectacularly important amino acid, especially for bodybuilders, and not the least of which, for a lot of reasons, but not the least of which is the fact that arginine's a precursor. It gets converted into nitric oxide. You want to save some money? Get yourself some arginine. Make sure you're doing about 1 gram or 2 of it every day. All bodybuilders should be doing arginine, in my opinion. In fact, everybody. If you're interested in anti-aging, you're not going to get arginine in a lot of foods unless you're eating a lot of meat or high-protein foods, and it's cheap enough and it's easy enough to supplement with. I would be supplementing with arginine. That's the best way to boost your nitric oxide. But keep listening, Brian, because we're going to be talking a lot about nitric oxide in the coming days. Thanks so much. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for your call, man. Okay, Richard in Texas. Welcome to the Bright Side.
Hello, Ben. I'm a first-time caller, but I've listened to your show for a long time and very much appreciate you.
Thank you.
I would like to suggest, one thing first. I have a friend who's been an alternative, amazing dental tech for a long time. It's into advanced therapies, but she's moved into the maxillofacial field. And
moved into what field, Richard? Say that again. She's moved into
maxillofacial.
Oh, maxillofacial. Okay, got it.
Okay, and she's focused on breathing a lot. And one of the things that she is a really strong believer after research is that breathing with your mouth closed and actually your tongue up behind your teeth is extremely important in terms of not only determining facial structure over time, but also producing nitrous oxide.
That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. She's a smart woman. First of all, that's 3 very important things. You want to breathe with your mouth closed, always. In through the nose, out through the nose. Mouth is for eating, nose is for breathing. So
out through the nose is important too?
In and out through the nose, yes. In and out through the nose. Now, if you need a lot of oxygen, if you're like running a marathon or something, or you just finished running a marathon, you may do some mouth breathing. But for the most part, it's in and out through the nostrils. Mouth is for eating, nose is for breathing. The second thing you just said, it was really kind of interesting and important, is to have your tongue in the back. And actually, you want your tongue kind of contacting the roof of your mouth, especially if you're breathing for relaxation, because there's actually a complex of nerves, of relaxation system or parasympathetic system nerves located in the roof of your mouth. And you know what? Even if you just right now, if you tickle the roof of your mouth with your tongue, you'll notice, if you're paying attention anyway, you'll notice that you've activated a relaxation response just by tickling the roof of your mouth with your tongue. This is a way of activating the parasympathetic nervous system. This is actually a remedy for hiccups. It can be a remedy for hiccups simply by relaxing or activating the relaxation nervous system. And the third thing you said, which was interesting, is the mouth is one of the best ways to get nitric oxide because of bacteria. Bacteria in the mouth actually convert nitrates and nitrates from food into nitric oxide. So once again, those are three wonderful points that your friend brought up. What is your question? Did you have a question for me?
Well, thank you. Yes, and I'm glad I brought it up only because you've educated me even more on the subject, and I'm
good deal. Yeah, tell your friend. Kudos to your friend, by the way. Tell her I said that.
Her name is Carol Vanderstep, and she's been interviewed on Mercola and stuff like that. She's very interesting.
She's spot on. Spot on.
Anyway, the second thing I wanted to mention is I've listened to a lot of your shows and never really heard as much focus on Candida as I would like to see maybe you address.
Yeah,
I've battled that a long time, and one of the things I learned is, if it's true, is that once it busts out of your gut when you've overdone it, so to speak, the first place it goes is to your pancreas and partially shuts off the insulin valve out of your pancreas. What an evil thing that is. And to self-support itself,
Well, here's the thing. Candida is supposed to, under healthy circumstances, Candida is not an enemy. Candida stays in the gut, and it kind of lives in this balance with bacteria. The problem is, number one, when we drink chlorinated water and fluoridated water, and we take antibiotics, or we eat antibiotics in our fish and our dairy, etc., these are all ways that we can kill off the gut bacteria. If we're not breastfed long enough, if we've got problems with birth, if we were born cesarean, etc., these are all ways, all causes of dysbiosis or messed up gut bacteria.
Well, of course, there's the sugar in the grains, like you've been focusing
on. All of that tends to throw off the ecosystem in the digestive tract, in the gut, and then the Candida overgrow. Once that happens, then you're off to the races. Sugar, then the excess ingestion of sugar really feeds the Candida. If you have leaky gut, the Candida gets into the blood. And the reason I don't talk about Candida so much is because it's a secondary problem. It's not a primary problem. I
kind of thought it was primary to a lot of things, like maybe.
Well, I mean, everything. Yes, that's true. It is primary to a lot of things, but it's secondary to dysbiosis. Yes, it can be primary to a lot of mental health issues and physical health issues for sure, but it itself is secondary to messed up gut bacteria. And this is why I focus on the digestive system a lot. Once the Candida is out, you can't really kill Candida. It's going to keep, it's yeast, it's a microbe, it's going to keep proliferating. I wish we had more time to discuss this. If you'd like, call me back tomorrow. We'll continue talking about Candida, Richard. And thanks so much for your kind words. Apologize if we left you on hold. Call us back tomorrow, and we'll get you first up. Tell our call screener we left you on hold. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening, folks. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Managing your business and customers isn't easy, huh? SnapForce Customer Relationship Software may be just what you need. SnapForce CRM is a software solution that helps you manage everything important about your customers, from sales to marketing to service and support. All of your customer information is right there at your fingertips for easy access. It's time to take control of your business in a snap. Get your free trial at snapforce.com. That's SNAPFORCE.com. Snapforce.com.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610.